Hey guys, what's up? I'm here with a review of a, I guess, body horror film, like a body science fiction horror film, from 2012, that's written and directed by a guy named Brandon Cronenberg. Now, his name sounds really familiar. I wonder why. That's right. This movie is directed by Brandon Cronenberg, who is in fact the son of legendary body horror director David Cronenberg. And you might, recognize his body of work. But this is like one of his early films, and this is a film from 2012, and it's called Antiviral. And the main reason I'm reviewing this is because A, it's from the son of David Cronenberg, and B, I just found it on Netflix and I figured it'd be good material. So, this movie is like a satire, I guess, and it's based in a future where there's an industry where if a celebrity gets some kind of disease, they isolate that celebrity, extract the disease from them, and then sell the disease to the fans, to the obsessed fans of that celebrity. Now, that sounds like an absolutely amazing and really cool and original premise for a movie. And I honestly wonder what the son of someone like David Cronenberg could do with this film. But the only way I can find out what he's going to do with this film is if I shut up and I watch it. So without further ado, I'm going to head downstairs and I'm going to watch Antiviral. So, the movie starts out with this guy kind of standing on the street with a thermometer in his mouth. And it turns out that he's not in the street, he's actually sitting on in front of a billboard. But anyway, so this customer walks into the clinic that I assume is where the celebrities go to, have the viruses extracted, and it kind of looks like the cube, the cubes in Cube to Hypercube, with everything being bright white. But then again, this is a clinic, so I guess using bright white on the walls would be better than really any other color, because it's a very clean color. So, surprisingly, this place gets quite a bit of business. And this guy meets a really messed up fan in the waiting room and stuff like that. The dialogue was a bit unexpected for me, honestly. But apparently in this they have like a kind of thing, like they have a thing that people on telemarketers use, like they have a set script of what they're supposed to say about certain celebrities to make things sound really enticing. It's kind of like they're selling insurance. Like they sell packages. Like you can buy this virus, or you can buy this more expensive virus which is for the more devoted fan. And it's actually really, really interesting, kind of how they do it. But that's kind of where I just stopped taking notes. The acting in this movie all around is pretty good. And Brandon Cronenberg has definitely inherited his father's talent for writing a really cool and original story. The effects here are good and well done. The lighting and camera work are nice. The sound mix is good. It really adds to the kind of visual style and set design of the film. The music is really nice, and at times when there isn't any music at all, the film becomes really creepy and atmospheric and foreboding. The characters are likable, and none of them are really annoying, so that's always a good thing, especially when it comes to independent, or at least partially independent films. Really, everything from a technical standpoint is really good in this film. There's even some really surreal moments in the film that really keep things interesting. The pacing in this film is really nice, and but I mean it's a bit of a slow burn, honestly. But this film definitely shows that while that Brandon Cronenberg has definitely inherited his father's talents for body horror, and even though he's inherited his father's talents, this film is not a rehash of Cronenberg's, of David's style. You know, Brandon Cronenberg feels the need, like, puts his own kind of style to this film, and while the style he uses for this film has been done before, I honestly don't remember it being done with body horror films before, though, so he's got it there. The movie, I mean, this movie is really solid, and for this being his first feature-length film, I really hope that he makes more movies, more body horror films, because this is definitely a really good movie. And I honestly really like this movie, and I really hope that he becomes as big a director as his father has. But back to the pacing. The pacing in this movie is slow. It's a bit of a slow burn, honestly, and again, if this is something that people, if you're not into slow films, then you're obviously not going to like this one. I didn't get bored watching it, but then again, this is coming from the guy who watched 4 hours of Andy Warhol's Empire, the original version of Metropolis in 2001: A Space Odyssey, not against his will, like, of his own choice. So, yeah. On the gore meter from 1 to 10, 1 being something like Nosferatu, and 10 being something like Brain Dead, Antiviral is probably a 3. It's mostly bloody during the entire film, and it feels a lot more like a kind of dramatic, almost art, like a dramatic art piece with undertones of horror and fear and dread. But the real body horror elements don't really show up in the film until you're within the last few minutes. But up until then, that does not mean the film is not, good. It is amazing. It's a very well shot, well made movie, and it keeps you interested by throwing all kinds of different things and different elements of the world that it's based in at you. But the body horror elements they add at the end of the film are still pretty decently grotesque. Honestly, I really like this film for what it is, and if you want to give Brandon Cronenberg a chance, if you're a fan of David, I definitely say give him a chance. He's got talent. He definitely has talent, and I really hope he does some more body horror films. I really like the film for what it is. It's no masterpiece of horror, but when it comes to modern body horror films, within the past few years, I haven't seen that many really good body horror films, and this is one of the ones that I would definitely say this is one of the best body horror films of the past 5 or 6 years, definitely. At least that I can think of off the top of my head right now. 9 out of 10, 4.5 out of 5. I really dig this one. And yeah, if you guys are interested, it's on Netflix. So anyway, guys, if you liked the video, like my channel, be sure to like this video, favorite it, whatever you want, and maybe subscribe perhaps. I would really appreciate that. And check the links in the description below. There are links to things like my Tumblr, Twitter, all that, Facebook. All that is in the description below.
Hey there, kids. Do you want to get cool stuff in the mail like this? Or this? Or even this? Well, then subscribe to Horror Block today. Have you ever wanted to do cool cosplays like this? Or even this? Well, now you can. Subscribe to Moonchild Cosplay on YouTube, and you can see all her tutorials on how to do cool stuff like this. Do you want to get cool horror and exploitation film t-shirts like this? Or this? Or this? Well, then go to RottenCotton.com to check out all of their premium t-shirts.